Chapter 798. Michael rubbed his forehead slightly before he said, "If they discover it, then it will all be over for us." As they were speaking, a young man dressed in a uniform suddenly walked into the villa with a strange device in his hand. The device was a long pole with a circle in front of it. It looked like a mine detector commonly used in movies. Michael asked in surprise, "Young man, is that a mine detector?" The young man simply smiled before he said, "No, but it is actually pretty similar. This is a metal detector. It will give out a warning should there be any metal detected underground. Since mines are also made out of metal, we can also use this to detect mines, but there is a difference in the level of sensitivity." As soon as Michael heard that it was a metal detector, he could not help but say, "It's already bad enough that you come over to and seal off other people's houses. Why do you have to bring a metal detector to check out other people's houses?" The other party replied, "Based on our many years of experience, there are generally many hidden compartments in the basement of a villa. Most people would usually hide some very valuable items in these hidden compartments. Therefore, my task is to find out the location of all these hidden items in order to seize all of these items in accordance with the law." Lady Richard collapsed to the ground as soon as she heard the young man's words. Michael could not help but feel a knot in his heart at this time. The young man hurried into the villa as soon as he was done speaking. At this time, Michael hurriedly helped the old lady up before he asked, "Mom, what kind of antiques did Dad leave behind to us?" Lady Richard nervously replied, "There are 2 vases, an ancient painting, and some other antiques." Michael hurriedly asked once again, "Are there any metal objects among the antiques?" "Yes." The old lady panicked as she said, "There's an old bronze lamp from the olden days, a set of tinware, and also 2 gold horseshoes." Michael could only slap his thigh, and he felt great pain as soon as he heard the old lady's words. "It's over. It's over. It's all over now. Since you've hidden all of the antiques in the basement, they'll definitely find everything as soon as they step into the basement with the metal detector." After he was done speaking, Michael pointed at the old lady angrily before he said, "This is all your fault, you greedy old lady. I've already told you to take those antiques out a long time ago. If you would have just listened to me and brought all of those antiques out, we could have sold and exchanged them for some money. However, you were very stubborn and you simply refused to take the antiques out. It seemed as though you really thought that you would be able to bring those antiques into your coffin with you when you die. You can forget all about it now. You can just dream about taking all those antiques with you now. Everything is all gone." Lady Richard was very nervous and she could only say, "No, it's impossible. They won't be able to find them at all. I've hidden those antiques in a very discreet location. No one will be able to find those antiques except for me." After she was done speaking, the person in charge stepped out of the villa as he walked directly towards the old lady. After that, he spoke in a cold manner, "Hello. We have found a hidden secret compartment in the basement of your villa which contains a number of antiques, cultural relics, and precious metals." As soon as he said those words, Lady Richard could only sit down on the ground with despair written all over her face. The person in charge continued speaking, "Since this villa is registered under your name, we will assume that all of these hidden items belong to you. Therefore, we will officially take possession of these antiques, cultural relics, and precious metals in accordance to the law. We will hold a public auction to sell off these antiques and the proceeds from the auction will be used to repay your debts. If the proceeds from the auction exceed the total amount of your debt, we will refund you the remaining funds left after your debt has been repaid. However, if the proceeds from the auction is less than your total debt, your creditor retains the right to sue you." After that, the man took out a form before he said, "Lady Richard, if you understand what I have just said, please sign on this authorization form." "I won't sign it." Lady Richard yelled hysterically. "You have no rights to seize my antiques. Those are for my retirement fund." The person in charge simply replied coldly, "I am sorry, but according to the law, We have every right to take these antiques under our possession. Nothing will change at all even if you refuse to sign the form." After that, the person in charge turned around before he walked back into the villa. Lady Richard's eyes turned dark and she passed out immediately.